Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called Beetlebum by Blur. And it starts off with a really cool lick, actually, and you could kind of work this as just kind of a E string lick. It's kind of a slide from the 12th fret to the 5th fret on the low E string, and then kind of play some extra A's. So that'd be a really easy way out. It's kind of that 12, 5, 5, 5, 12, 5, 5, 5. Kind of try and work that lick, kind of that 12, 5, 5, 5, 12, 5, 5, 5. Or you could add power chords to that and kind of make it an A5 power chord, where you do first finger on the low E 5th fret, third finger on the A string 7th fret, and kind of work that as an A5 power chord and kind of make that a little thicker. Kind of 12, 5, 5, 5, 12, 5, A, 12, 5, A. Or in the video, what you'll kind of see is that lick being played with the thumb, and I have the wrong kind of guitar for this, but then you could kind of throw in a little A major shape, where you do first finger on the B string 5th fret, second finger on the G string 6th fret, third finger on the D string 7th fret, and kind of make that a little bit thicker that way. So you can kind of have a 12 slide to 5, and then major chord. So we want to play around with that lick. Or a really easy way out is to play an A major chord. And when you play A major, first finger goes to the D on the 2nd fret, second finger on the G 2nd, third finger on the B string 2nd fret. If you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord, and it sounds really happy. And through that intro, you may want to try just downs. Actually, it can be kind of a cool idea, kind of an 8 down count on each A. And I'm adding a little bit of muting to that, so I'm kind of putting the flat of my right hand down on top of the saddle for that. Or if you just want to strum through that for your voice, one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So if you took the A and just tried that a lot too, you'd have down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. Or I would also lean towards a 16th note strumming through the song. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're kind of dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What a 16th note is where you divide that foot tap into 4 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the A and do a down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you're doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up. And then on the third beat, you're doing an up on 2, down on 3. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you're going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. So all together, you got down, 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 up. Then we'll be going into our main verse. And that idea actually of kind of that 12 to 5 slide kind of starts off our verse. And we end up doing that 4 times. But then we do a 12 to 8 slide on the low E string. So kind of an E note to a C note. And if you wanted to, you could even make that a C5 by adding in the third finger on the A string 10th fret. And kind of make it an E to C slide. We do that lick 4 times. That 8th fret on the low E and slide it to 1st fret on the low E string, which is kind of an F note. You could make that an F5 power chord by putting the third finger in on the 3rd fret on the A string and kind of working it that way, kind of a C, F, C, F, C, F. And we do that 4 times. And then we go back to the 8th slide, but then we go to 3rd fret on the low E string for a G note, and you can make that kind of a G5 by putting the 3rd finger on the A string 5th. That lick 3 times, and then we kind of do this little hit kind of from the G to a B flat where we go first finger on the low E 6th fret, and then we go back to the low E on the 3rd fret. So for that B flat note, you can kind of make that a B flat 5 by adding the 3rd finger in on the 10th fret on the A string, or 8th fret on the A string, kind of working that for the B flat, and then going back to the G5. So you could work it as kind of a slide power chord idea kind of through that part, kind of that 12, 5, so the A lick 4 times, take that idea actually that we were doing kind of that slide from the intro to the fifth and with the 5, 6, 7 shape for kind of a major chord, and you could try taking that through that same lick. So kind of the 12 to 5 slide for the A lick, and then the 12 to 8 for the C, same shape, but we end up being 8, 9, 10. We got the 8 to 1, so now we got first fret, second fret, third for the F shape. And we do that 4 times. And then we go to the G and kind of add in 3, 4, 5 actually for that G shape. Like I said, I completely have the wrong guitar for this. And then you could do the B flat, G. G is kind of a hit at the end. So we want to play around with that, especially if you're working on electric. Or you could bag that up with the chords and have an A major chord, and then you go to a C major chord. When you play C major, first finger goes to the B first fret, second finger on the D second fret, third finger on the A string third fret. Kind of work that for a C chord. And then from the C major, we're going to be going to an F major chord. We play F major. Normally you do this as a first fret bar. We'll talk about an easy way to play this too. And then you put second finger on the G string second, third finger on the A string third, pinky on the D string on the third. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now, a good substitute for that if you're starting out is an F major 7, where you do first finger on the B string first fret, second finger on the G second, third finger on the D third, and kind of strum the D string to the high E string, and that sounds an F major 7 chord, and it sounds really groovy. And then from the F, we'd be going to a G major chord. We play G major. First finger goes to the A second fret, second finger on the low E string third fret, third finger on the high E string third fret. Strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord. Now you may also want to put the third finger on the B string third, pinky on the high E string third. And you could just kind of stay on that G and kind of round it out into 2 Gs and just ignore that B flat hit. Or if you want to get that in, you could use a B flat major chord, where in a really easy B flat major, we'll be doing first finger on the high E first fret, third finger on the G third fret, pinky on the B string third fret for the B flat. Or you could add in the second finger on the D third, make that a little bit thicker. Or you could do it as a first fret bar, third finger on the D over the D, G, and B, kind of a double bar idea. Or you could use a B flat 5 power chord. And we taught about 1 from the 6th fret on the low E, but if you want something closer to the other chords, you could do first finger on the A string's first fret, third finger on the D third fret, and work that for your B flat. And it's kind of that B flat hit at the end, kind of a B flat, G, if you wanted to kind of just nail the chords on that. So you could kind of do that with a kind of a down idea, kind of A, or you might be digging on the down, down, up, up, down, kind of C, C, and G. If you want to get into that hit, you can do G with kind of down, down, then the B flat, G, and then you can be right back to the A. Or you can do that with the 16th idea. The verse, then we kind of end up on kind of an A vamp, almost like our intro, and kind of a big A hit right before we go into our chorus part. And on our chorus, we start on the C major chord, but then we go to a B minor chord. Normally you do this as a second fret bar, second finger on the B string third fret, pinky on the, or third finger on the D string fourth, pinky on the G string fourth. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord, and it sounds really sad. Now you may also want to think about lifting off the pinky and making that a B minor 7. Or another way to play B minor 7 is to do first finger on the A second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the high E second. You can kind of work that for your B minor. Or if you wanted to work this as a power chord idea, you could use a B5 power chord, where you do first finger on the A second, third finger on the D fourth, and kind of work just that for the kind of that B minor. And then from the B minor we go to an A note, which you could do the A5 idea for. Or you could use an A minor chord. When you play A minor, first finger goes to the B on the first fret, second finger on the D second fret, third finger on the G second fret. If you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the A minor, we go back to our F major chord, and then we go back to A minor, and then we go back to F major, but then we do this cool, sneaky, awesome thing where you might want to lift the second finger, which is always a dangerous finger to lift, and make it an F minor chord, so kind of making the F a sad chord. And if you're just starting out or trying to avoid the bars, you could kind of make that a smaller bar by doing the top 2 strings or the top 3 strings even. Or if you just cover the top 3 strings and play the D string for your bass, that sounds a D half diminished 7, which can be kind of a cool substitute for an F minor chord. And then we kind of end up repeating that chord progression and kind of ended up with a big C hit. So you could kind of work that as kind of that down idea, kind of an 8 down on each of those chords. B minor, A minor, F. Or we could do the down, down, up, down. A minor, F minor, or you might be thinking on the 16th idea. C, B minor, A minor. Pick it back up on kind of an A major idea, actually kind of like our intro coming back on the A. Now one other thing that I would think about adding to the song though is bass notes. A lot of times on that first down, of the down, down, up, down, or the down, 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 up, down, 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 you could throw in a bass for the chords. On the A you'd have the A for the bass, on the C you'd have the A for the bass, on the F bar you'd have the low E for the bass, on the F major setting you'd have the D for the bass, on the G you'd have low E for the bass, the A for the bass. On the B minor, you'd have the A for the bass. On the A minor, you'd have the A for the bass. And on the F minor, you'd have the low E for the bass. Unless you're doing a D half diminished, in which case you might want to use the D for the bass. So we could kind of do that intro adding basses and have kind of an A with a bass, down, up, down, A with an A bass, down, up, down, up. Or we could kind of add basses to the 16th. And you can make it a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. Can all be cool ideas. So we tried our verse with kind of a bass, down, up, down, up. We'd have the A minor, or A major, and then our C. Down, up, and then B flat, G, and then we kind of go back into the A part of A, C, C, F, G, B flat, G, A, and then kind of a big A hit to kind of tag off the verse. Or you could add the 16th idea, and on that G, B flat hit, you may want to do the G with kind of a bass, down, down, up, and then the B flat with a bass, down, up, G with a bass, down, up, down. Which would be kind of cool. G with a bass, down, down, B flat with a bass, down, up, G with a bass, down, up, on that hit. So you'd have the A, into our chorus part. So we tried that with a bass, down, up, down, up. We'd have C with an A bass, B minor with an A bass, B minor with an A bass, A minor, F minor. Or if you're digging on the 16th, you have this C, B minor, A minor, start part. It's kind of this vamp actually on our verse idea. Kind of, there's this cool little lead part that turns up there where you can play 5th fret on the high E string, 3rd fret on the B as a bend, and then we got 5 on the G, 4 on the G, and then you can even slide that back to 2nd fret on the G and then go 2nd fret on the D. So 5, 3, bend, 5, 3, bend, 5, 4, slide 2, 5, 3, bend, 5, 3, bend, 5. So you want to kind of play around with it, kind of adding in that lick too. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Beetlebum by Blur. So good luck!